Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you on how to make ensaimadas. Ensaimadas are originally from Spain, but they're also consumed in the Spanish colony countries such as Philippines and also Latin America. So for that we're going to be using some all-purpose flour, some milk, sugar, salt. This is an instant yeast that I'm using. And I've got some eggs, olive oil, and some vegetable shortening. Okay, so you're going to start with your dried ingredients. So we've got our yeast, our salt, and our sugar. I think I've put the sugar already. Okay, I can't see it. Okay, and you're going to mix this just to make sure the dry ingredients are well combined before you add your wet ingredients. You're going to start with the eggs. I mean, you can do in no particular order: eggs and milk, and I have actually had recipes that use butter too, but this recipe does not call for butter. So you're going to knead this for about 7 minutes. Okay, you don't want to develop any gluten, and also this dough is very sticky, it's very light and sticky. Okay, so this is what's going to make your ensaimadas very soft. Okay, so we are ready to take it out, and as you can see, it's very sticky, but that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, and you're going to cover it up, put it in a bowl, and make sure that the bowl has some oil to allow your dough to rise properly. And then you're going to cover it up and let it rise slowly to double the amount or the volume, and that would be maybe about 45 to an hour. And ensaimadas are usually consumed or eaten for tea, I believe, evening tea, but I like them for breakfast, and we do a lot for brunch. Whenever I do a brunch, my kids just love these. So well, now my dough has risen, as you can see. It's nice and fluffy. Okay, so I'm going to show you three different ways of doing ensaimadas, and so I'm going to divide this into two, and you can do one big ensaimada or you can do small ones. You can even use the brioche molds. You can use muffin tins, if you want. That makes it, if you want to do individual. Okay, so we're going to use the shortening here to roll our dough, and actually the original recipe calls for lard, and since I don't use lard, I'm using the vegetable shortening, and I also believe lard is what makes the dough elevate, when you bake it. So I don't know, I just trust their judgment. It's an original recipe. So I'm using the Crisco, which is a vegetable shortening. Now you want to apply this as much as you can, because you want to roll your dough as thin as you can, and you also want to make it rectangle. My surface today is very small, so I really can't roll as thin as I normally would. I do have a longer table, but since it's night, the lighting is very, the area where it is, the lighting is very poor, and I want to make a good video on this. So I've chosen to use my countertop, which is not sufficient for this job, but nevertheless we will work it out. Okay, so like I say, you want it as thin as possible and as long as you can. you know, because that will give you the layer of your ensaimada. It's like a croissant kind of, you know, you get those layers, but this is not the buttery layers, this is just the layers. But they're beautiful, they taste good, you know. And you do the jam. You can do apricot jam, you can do any kind of jam, but I've seen the ones done from the Philippines. They do a lot with cheese, but I haven't seen the Spanish ones, means from Spain. I have seen a lot of them just have jam or preserves. Okay, and I have done my own version where I have added brown sugar and cinnamon and raisins and yeah. Okay, so you're gonna fill up your jam here, and it's always good to use a pastry bag or bag because, you know, it's easy to spread it out. Okay, and then you are going to, you see, I'm too far, my okay, so you're gonna fold this to cover your jam or preserve if you choose to use one. This is a homemade strawberry jam that I made, and it's got strawberry and mint. You know, I love to mix flavors. And then you're gonna roll this, you see, and you see I got my pastry pretty thin, you know, it's almost, you know, like tearing up. And this is for the big ensaimada, like I call it the giant ensaimada. Okay, and these look so pretty when they're done, they really look so beautiful. Then you're gonna just roll it like a coil, and make sure you cover it properly to let it rise. That's for your second rise. It's also going to take another half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay, so here I'm making the small ones, and like I say, I'm going to show you 3 different ways of doing the small ones. You know, I just do the way I want to do. Some days I feel like doing this side and some this way, and the other time I feel like doing some other way. And I also want to try with butter. I don't know how they're gonna be. I think next time I'll try with butter, and then I'll let you know how it turns out. You know, instead of applying the shortening, the vegetable shortening, I want to try with butter and see how it works. And so you want to just make this, like I say, as thin as you can. You know, my kids love this. Well, the moment I say ensaimadas, everybody's like, yay! And I really have a tough time because one person likes apricot jam, the other person likes what do you call, orange and marmalade, and somebody likes strawberry. But today I only have strawberries, so they have no choice but to just go ahead and have all these strawberries. Okay, so okay, this is the small one, and you will roll just like how you do the bigger one too. But these inside a little bit doughy because, you know, it's not as thin as how I made the big one. So once they're cooked, they're baked, they're do. Okay, now when you roll, make sure the seam is at the bottom or at the sides. You don't want it to be on the top because that will spoil the show of your final product. Okay, now this is a method that I have seen actually on the people from the Philippines. And this particular one, when I saw it, it didn't have any filling. It was just done just the way it is, but they look so beautiful. So, but mine is gonna have a filling. It's just that the technique, I want to show you how it's done. I mean, it's not a technique, it's a style. It's a different style. They just look a little bit different, but they taste the same. Okay, so you want to put spread the what do you call, I don't know, I'm running out of words. Okay, so here, as you can see, Okay, and these ensaimadas, they're nice when they're served warm, but you can keep them up to 2 days, and when you're ready to serve them, just warm them up. Okay, so this style that I've seen is you dip it in melted butter. Honestly, I didn't see the difference in anything. I guess it's just adding calories, but it did look a bit lighter when I baked it. Okay, so you see, I forgot about my seam, so now I'm gonna put my seam on the side. Sometimes it's difficult, but try. Okay, now this style is what my daughter likes, and so this particular one is for Miss Alicia. She likes this way. She doesn't like me to roll it thin, so it's just just like that, thick. And then you're gonna smear some water on the sides, and then you're just gonna pinch it to close it. Okay, so this is how she likes it. And make sure the seam is in the middle, it's not seen at all. And that's it. So I'm gonna let this rise, and what I've done is I've put these lemons and stuff like that to just elevate my cover, because I didn't want it to touch the bread. So I'm gonna egg wash these, and then they are going to be baked on 375 for about 20 minutes. I'm cooking them separately. I could put them all together at once, but I prefer to cook the bigger ones separately. Okay, so here the small ones, I did the same thing. I just put the lemons, the lime, to just elevate. You see, this is the one that with butter, that was with, so you see the color, they look different, but I couldn't tell much, I had to look for it after I baked. Okay, so here's my baby. You see how beautiful this looks? This is just amazing. It looks so wonderful. So you're gonna sprinkle some powdered sugar, and this is you're gonna wow your guests, when you do something like this. They are not gonna believe. So it's always nice. I always like to try something new. Especially when I have people, I always like to have something new. So, well, that's beautiful. Now for the small ones. Okay, I'm going to do the one that my daughter likes. Okay, she likes hers done this way. This is the first recipe that I did. It's from the Philippines, so that's why she likes it this way. And you're just gonna roll it on sugar. This is just the normal granulated sugar, fine sugar. It's not the powdered sugar. And then the rest are going to have the powdered sugar. Now thank you very much, and for more details and more recipes, please do visit me at aromafzanzibar.blogspot.com. Thank you.